and welcome to this look at the 1/200 scale Artemis 1 model kit. This kit was released a couple years ago by the folks at Round 2. It is in, as I said, 1/200 scale. It is a really nice addition to the Man in Space classic kit that includes the crewed spacecraft from Mercury, Redstone through the Saturn V. You can add any number of 1/200 scale space shuttles to go along and have your own NASA rocket garden. So this particular kit is very manageably sized. We're looking at about 18 inches for the whole kit. We begin with a launch escape tower. We have the shroud around the command module or the crew module, the service module, and here's where the interim cryogenic propulsion system is located. We have here a little bit of bump out. We have all of the various markings included as decals. We continue down through the spacecraft adapter, the various ports. You'll notice here some lines that go down. These were painted together with the differentiation paints at various points on the tank. In some of the newer 144 scale kits, these are included as decals. Particularly the Revell kit, I should say, it's included as a decal. Here we have the core stage and the solid rocket boosters. The engine boat tail, together with the 4 main engines. And as mentioned, we've got our solid rocket boosters, together with all of their range tracking markings. The booster joints are done with drafting tape. This is not a difficult kit to build. I think the biggest pain in this kit, if you ask me, was the decals. And I will freely admit, some of the smaller decals on the nozzles and things like that, I did omit. I did not put them on. You may notice a few things. Definitely painted the slightly different color on the top, on the attach ring, and at the bottom here of the SRBs. Carried that also over here on the upper part of the boat tail. This is much more detailed. Round 2 owns the Lindbergh molds and has re-released the Lindbergh shuttle actually as the Moonraker space shuttle from the James Bond films. I happen to have one I'm working on over here, so you can kind of compare. There are some accuracy changes, obviously, that are there. The Space Launch System uses a 5-segment solid rocket booster. The space shuttle only does a 4-segment. This gives you a bit of an idea of the size difference here between them. But you can tell there's a lot more detail on this kit than there is in that old Lindbergh mold. Comes with a base. You can paint any number of different ways. Here is the version I did. I think my biggest criticism of the kit, the details here on the upper portion of the solid rocket booster feel a little bit out of scale. They made it very difficult for these decals to settle down no matter what decal softener I used. And I will be honest, I finally kind of gave up on it. It is what it is. And yeah, but I tend to display it this away, even though generally speaking, your publicity photos will have this SRB on that side. I just happen to like demonstrating it and, or I should say displaying it in this way. So there you go. Would I recommend this kit? Yes. And I'll be curious to see when I pick up one of the other Artemis kits. I'm looking at perhaps the Revell 144 if I can find one as my next jump on the SLS setup. So I'm curious how this will hold up versus that. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. And if you've built this model, let me know what you think about it or share your photographs in the comments below.